Humanity. We're a tenacious bunch, aren't we? Before we hop into this chat about the Record of Ragnarok humans, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Now, let's get into it. What's up, guys? I got the pencil here, and let's chat about Record of Ragnarok humans. Record of Ragnarok humanity. Record of you know what I'm talking about. So, the reason I'm just going to go into it. I think they're fantastic. The reason I think Record of Ragnarok humans work so well is because they all embody certain parts of humanity. And by doing that, it makes them easy to understand. And since they're easy to understand, they're easier to relate to. And when they're easier to relate to, they're easier to like. And when they're easier to like, they're easier to respect. And it's just fire. And also, before I even hop further into that, let me get into their designs. Every single design for human and Record of Ragnarok smacks. It slaps, it body bags, it whatever you want to say. It sucker punches. I don't care. Every single human design is fire. So fire, in fact, at Golly G Willikers, they're really hard to draw. But regardless of that, every single one of their designs smacks so hard. And why? It's just because they're done good. Here's the thing. Lubu, he is literally... If I look at Lubu, the word I use to describe him is strength. By his character silhouette alone, I can get that he embodies power. And that's perfect for Adam. He's the first man. And honestly, it makes sense that he's relatively under-designed. However, the sculpted detail that comes with him to make him look more like a statue is what makes him amazing. For Sasaki, he has that... Let's see, it's weird to say he has that Japanese style to him, because I don't really know what that means. However, when I look at Sasaki, I can understand that he is a wandering swordsman. That his design perfectly matches what he is, and that's how you make a good character design. For Jack the Ripper, he has such a fire design. Like, it's just flames. It's just flame. Am I burning alive right now? Hello? But the thing is, Jack the Ripper's design, it's really the most complicated, arguably, outside of maybe Lubu. And see, I'm about to say outside maybe Lubu and Sasaki, but it's one of the most complicated, but it makes sense because Jack's character is one of the most complicated. He is such a complicated character, and you can see how every part of his design leads into what he is, a serial killer, because there's so many details. But the hat, the shadow, the covered eye, all these different features lend into what Jack is, and that's great character design. Raiden, he's the only character design I have to say I do like, but I don't like as much as the others. He has my least favorite character design, and if it's only for the fact that I look at Raiden and I see a mix of Lubu and Adam with lines going all around everywhere. However, the detail in him and how his design shifts and how it's so malleable to match the ability that he has to control his muscles is great. That's what makes it work. All these humans' designs work to convey their characters. Lubu's strength, Adam's nature, like literally just his nature, since that's where he comes from, Sasaki's nature as a swordsman, Jack's nature as a serial killer, and Raiden's nature as a malleable wrestler. All these things make sense, and that's just for their character designs, not to talk of their actual, their characters. And I would go into the rest of humanity, but I think the rest of humanity serves their function, in short, because the rest of humanity is what you and I, the audience, would be in this scenario. We're just some people watching the event. And while some of us may be involved, it sounds weird saying some of us, but a lot of the side humanity characters are involved in the past, or possibly even the futures of some of these combatants, such as all of the people that rooted for Lubu and ended up dying to Thor, all the people from Adam's backstory, all the people from Sasaki's backstory, all the people from Jack, so on and so forth. The thing about the humanity that I want to talk about, obviously, the combatants, and really just the combatants, is the idea of how well they match up to certain aspects of humanity. So Lubu is the definition of humanity's strength, simply our pure power. We aren't the strongest out there, that's shown by Lubu losing. However, we still are very, very powerful. We do things that shock the limits of anything in creation all the time. The world record weightlifter, just stuff like that. We are extremely powerful in the physical sense, and Lubu matches that perfectly. And on to Adam. The eyes of the Lord are the most interesting thematic device. Not thematic device, it's weird to say, the most interesting power I'm seeing, because it's such a perfect power for man, for humanity, in the sense that technically every human being has the eyes of the Lord, just lesser versions of it. We see things, we copy them, we try to make them better, we interpret things and we move on with them. We may not be able to do it as perfectly or as amazingly as Adam could, but one way or another, we all share that trait, and Adam embodies the will of humanity, obviously. He was directly stated to have the strongest will. All of that is fantastic, and you can see it. Adam fighting towards after death, it shows the determination and willpower of humanity, what makes us do things that we were initially unable to do. Humans only got to the moon because humanity said, man, that's a big old rock up there, I'm gonna go get it. And it's stuff like that. We weren't able to fly until humanity, through their willpower, went and did it. Adam is the representative of humanity's will. And honestly, Sasuke is the example of humanity's determination, because he was thrown up against unstoppable odds. He was humanity's greatest loser, but no matter what the circumstances were, he never gave up. He pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed. And even in the fight for his life, the fight of his life squared, basically, the amazing thing about it is that he kept on pushing. No matter what happened, Sasuke kept going. Just like humanity in multiple situations literally just kept going. It's just, we do it. Humans do it. And that's the great thing that Sasuke embodies. And we do it against unthinkable odds. Just like Sasuke was going to fight against multiple gods, against unthinkable odds, because that's what humanity does. Because that's what humans are. We're some of the most determined, insane, limit-breaking. We're wild. We're wild. Insane. That's what humanity is. And what I like about Jack is that he is humanity's darkness as portrayed in the ultimate sense, a murderer. However, the darkness that comes from Jack sort of not only represents Jack as this mirror for all of humanity's darkness, but the fact that there's a reason behind all the darkness. Everyone has their own secrets. Everyone has their own nightmares. Everyone has their own things that they fear, things that they hated, and their own coping mechanisms for it. And Jack perfectly represents that because of what he is. Yes, he's a monster, but he's a monster for a reason. At least in Record of Ragnarok. I'm not sure about real life Jack the Ripper. I don't know. But that contextualization gives Jack a very unique purpose as the mirror for our darkness. And I think that's very, very good for a character to embody, because humanity isn't perfect. Humanity is filled with evil, nasty things, but it still deserves to be acknowledged that evil, nasty things, for the most part, happen for a reason. And Jack does a perfect job embodying that. What can I say? And then Raiden is honestly humanity's willingness to carry each other. Humans are social creatures. It's a natural part of us. We naturally gravitate towards each other. It's something we tend to do. Why? It's just built into our biology, I suppose. And the willingness to help each other is something that humanity always does. And humanity always has that. And the thing is that Raiden embodies that perfectly, for the reason that he literally carries the burdens on his back. Not just the burdens of sumo, but the burdens of all of humanity in this tournament known as Record of Ragnarok. He carries so much weight with him right now. Just like every human carries weight with the people that have trust in them, with the people that they talk to, the people that they work with. Humanity does carry burdens, every single one of us. And Raiden embodies that perfectly. And the main thing I'd have to say about Record of Ragnarok humans in total is that they embody us. They embody you and me, person that you know. They embody humanity perfectly. And I just wonder how. Like, how did the mangaka do this? Fukui and Umemura sensei just know how to do this. Like, for them to pick out 5 unique traits already, I'm just wondering what's left. What's left? How much further can we go? Because remember, there are 13 fighters, so there are 8 more people who are going to embody different traits of humanity. And that's my favorite thing about Record of Ragnarok humans. The fact that they embody us so well, despite being such extreme characters. Every single human we've seen so far is beyond the limits of human comprehension in terms of us. no one is near the level of Luke. No one I know, at least, can split the sky. No one I know can perfectly copy everyone's abilities and go at it. No one I know has 1,000 image defense, but who knows? Maybe some people do. And no one I know has the sort of tactical mind and yet gymnastic ability to do things that Jack the Ripper does. And at the same time, no one can manipulate their muscles to that degree. But the thing is, once you strip all that away, all of those crazy superhuman qualities, you see humans, you see people, and that's the greatest thing. All these humans in Record of Ragnarok are fantastic symbols, embodiments of what humans are as a whole. And I literally just can't wait to see what the mangaka does next with the next humans, especially with who's left on the list. Like, there's still so many interesting people. Like, is Leonidas going to represent Pride? What is he going to do? All these crazy people, like Rasputin, who, what, all these different humans. I'm ready to go nuts when I finally see Soji Okita go nuts on whoever he's going to fight. There's so much left, and I can't wait to see what they represent and how the mangaka works with that, because when I see it, I'm going to lose my mind. And that's why I wish I may do this. Like, I may do another version of this video at the end. Like, I mean the end, when Record of Ragnarok is over. And if all 13 fights play out like I expect them to, golly gee willikers, this is going to be a long video. But I want to see what the manga can do, because the manga, both of them have done a fantastic job writing all these humans, making them reflect humanity in general very, very well. And overall, it's just great. It's great. Man, it's just fire. It's fire. It's flames. And that's all I got. But, man, what do you guys think about Record of Ragnarok humans? Do you think other humans should have represented? I personally like the lineup a lot already. Like, I'm fine with what we got. Though I do wish we had something like Albert Einstein. I wish we had, I wish we had at least one U.S. president, but just because it would be interesting. I think it would be interesting. Maybe a king outside of Leonidas, but regardless, I think we have a pretty solid lineup. But tell me what you guys think in the comment section down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is That Guy with the Pencil, writing off.